Hi and welcome back to IndieGems. Today we are looking at Nebelmer, a small open world adventure and exploration based game with platforming elements. Nebelmer was released on the 11th of August. What I was expecting with Nebelmer was a mysterious land ready to explore with lots of interesting things to see and do. Did I get that? Well, stay tuned to find out. For many generations, the small population on top of the mountain village talked about what lurked beneath the mist below. Nobody dared venture out of the safety of their village until Arx's grandmother convinced him that without adventure there was nothing, and the unknown is something to explore and not fear. So the young boy set off on his journey below to uncover the mysteries and report back with his discoveries. What he found were 3 distinct areas of exploration and an almost lifeless planet apart from the odd animal and lots of different species of flora. For me, this was the most disappointing aspect of the game, because the premise suggested that there would be untold secrets and a world full of adventure, but really it was just an area for platforming and finding various objects. The world was colourful and there were some interesting landmarks here and there, but it felt devoid of life and there were no other characters to interact with apart from some very brief conversations with your villagers above the mist. This is not to say that the world below was not pretty or not enjoyable to traverse, but it didn't contain the mystery I was hoping for. The game in essence is just a platforming and exploration game, and there are various areas with different platforming attributes. Some areas have bouncy mushrooms or jellyfish to help you ascend, or some might have bubbles or jets of water to propel you to greater heights. The main character has the ability to drift in the air using his hang glider, and he can also use it as a skateboard somehow and skate along the ground. There are rails made out of plants or ice that he can use to skate on and take him higher or reach inaccessible spots. The controls take a while to get used to, especially getting on the rails, because initially I would often miss the very small entry point and skating is difficult to steer sometimes, but with a bit of practice it does get better. I particularly appreciated the thought into what happens if you fall off these rails, because there always seems to be a quick way of getting back on them rather than go back to the very start. Once on the rails you may need to jump over obstacles or switch rails to avoid debris, and some gates give you a speed boost which elevates the heart rate a bit. The platforming was fun in the main and the thing I enjoyed the most. There are a handful of characters in your village that give you quests which usually involve either finding particular landmarks or collecting pearls which are scattered around the 3 environments. Once they have been achieved you can return back to your village and they will update the quest or even upgrade your abilities very slightly. Don't expect a skill tree, but you might get a boost on your hang glider and skate. Exploration is a big part of the game and the land is reasonably pretty to explore. You can glide down rivers, climb mountains and then glide off them using your hang glider, or skate at speed in the vast open areas. It can be quite fun. I did get particularly annoyed trying to find the next thing to do, and I felt like I was going around in circles and always coming back to the same place. I found the quest finding and navigation to be a little confusing. I was continually stopping and checking the map to see where I was, and most of the time I didn't know what I was meant to be doing anyway, because although the quests are listed in your diary, they give you no indication as to where to go and there is no quest finder, so it does involve a lot of guesswork and exploration to uncover things. You might see that as a plus point or a minus point depending on your view. There's not much of a story, but there are some tender moments between the main protagonist and his grandmother that were touching, but not much else and it felt quite basic. There is no combat in the game either, so it is a family friendly affair and would particularly appeal to children I think. In conclusion, Nebelmer is reasonably fun to play and most of the fun derives from navigating the platforming areas, so if you enjoy platforming games there might be a particular interest for you here. Anyone looking for an adventure will probably be disappointed due to the lack of interaction with characters, the lack of animal life and the rudimentary quest system, but as an overall package I can just about recommend it. Okay, that's all from our review today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel so that we can make more videos like this one, and any comments are appreciated. Thanks and see you soon.